or we saw manufacturing data yesterday be slightly weak. Notwithstanding that, I would think if they get reasonable confidence that the economic growth path, however modest, is still on an upswing, they may tilt towards a rate hike in September and possibly hold on for the remainder of the year. So that way they would have possibly got this monkey off their back that they have to do one rate hike in this year and they're done with. They can look forward to data thereafter and how it shapes up for the next rate hike whenever it comes through.
Right, whenever it comes through, right? That's a big question. Thanks very much, Badrisha, as well as Maitli, for taking us through those macro cues. We will head into a break right now, but when we come back, we'll revisit the top story of yesterday's session, which was essentially the big raging war in the telecom space, Rel Jio, and what brokerages are making of the story going forward from here. People have got more than 24 minutes to digest and analyze what the implications
But at least it's us consumers which stand to benefit.
Yes, we are a happy lot. It's just that, since we track the markets, I don't know how much does that work in with shareholder value and wealth creation. But we'll talk about that when we come back after a short break. We'll get you an analysis from a key telecom analyst.
Association with Lufthansa, non-stop you.
PSE, the world's fastest exchange with a speed of 6 microseconds.
मैच के तीसरे दिन भी बैट्समैन धीमे, बॉलर फ्रस्ट्रेटेड, रफ्तार बढ़ाने की कोशिश, यॉर्कर, बाउंसर, स्विंगर, अक्षय जी का
क्या हो रहा है?
T20 के टाइम पर टेस्ट मैच हो रहा है।
तो क्या करूं?
बर्जर एक्सप्रेस पेंटिंग कराइए, पेंटिंग का T20 ऑटोमेटिक मशीन्स के साथ, यूं शुरू यूं खत्म। बर्जर एक्सप्रेस पेंटिंग, वाह।
Aryan, we are flying to New York to visit your father?
With a German airline.
You know Germans?
No.
They are a bit different, always serious, and their food.
Namaste.
Grandpa, we are in the wrong plane.
No, everything is fine.
Non-stop you. Lufthansa.
They might have started small, but their ambition knows no boundaries. They swapped their blood, sweat and tears for a reward to revolutionize the world. Their vision to change the equation forever. Capital First presents the Economic Times Startup Awards 2016. Our esteemed chief guests honoring visionary entrepreneurs who've chosen to kickstart a revolution with their maverick ideas. Analyzed by our valued jury members who've selected companies that have innovated on new horizons. Exclusively on ET Now.
प्रकाश की अहमियत हम खूब समझते हैं, तभी तो आपके दिल के कोने कोने को रोशन करने का जिम्मा लिया है हमने।
HPL LED lighting, अब रोशन हो खुशियाँ.
Thanks for staying on with us. This is Market Sense, and clearly if there's any outperformance today, it's isolated to the broader end of the market. Small cap index is definitely taking charge. Names like Patel Engineering, ILNFS Engineering, SCI, HCC, all of those are very smart buzzers in an otherwise dull market. You've got PVR2, which is holding fort. You've got IVRCL, which is also gaining traction. As we speak, the index is currently at 8781. The Sensex propped up by about 40 odd points. Dr. C.K. Narayan is with us on the show. And Dr. Narayan, take us through your analysis on the index right now at the 8780 mark. Where do you see us headed, and your top calls as well?
Good afternoon. I think the index, both the Bank Nifty as well as the Nifty, are somewhat sedate since the morning. And it seems that the market is actually digesting the strong show of momentum that we had over Friday and the last maybe couple of sessions. I think the very pertinent point to note here is the absence of weakness, which clearly means that no over-leveraged positions exist in the market, number one. Number two, nobody is seriously wanting to exit, seeing any kind of valuation stretch. So both of these are fairly encouraging indicators for further gains to be made ahead. I think there is a paucity in the news flow, and there wasn't really anything new or fresh, and the market will find every positive news flow to build further on whatever gains it has made. So therefore this continues to remain a buy on dips market. Any dip intra-week should be used to buy. As far as individual trades and investments are concerned, I think Manappuram Finance is giving a fresh buy signal on the daily charts. It's an ongoing uptrend, and within that now we have signals of a resumption after a brief rest. So at 86, short-term investments are called for, stop loss about 80, and near-term targets between 95 to 100. Second stock is UCAL Fuel, where there seems to be a very powerful breakout of a triangle pattern on weekly charts, and since the breakout the stock has been quite nicely trended for the last about 3 sessions. 166 currently. I think a lot more to come ahead, so short-term investment here with a stop at about 155, 156, and a near-term target at 180 with a possibility of even more beyond that.
Okay, thanks Dr. Narayan for those strategies. We will touch base with the management of Uniply Industries. Keshav Kantamneni, who's the CMD of the company, joins us with a quick snapshot of how business is shaping up. The case for a chat here essentially being that they've acquired vector projects for 64 crores. Thanks, Keshav, for taking out the time to speak with us. What is the rationale behind this acquisition?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think, we have a stated strategy of forward integrating into sort of end-to-end building product solutions rather than just being a raw material supplier. So we started off, when we acquired the business a year and a half ago, we had just plywood as one product range. Today we have various grades of plywood. Along with that, we have laminates, we have veneers, we have adhesives, and now we're sort of forward integrating into the sort of interior solutions aspect. We see sort of the market moving more towards a solution play, and I think it's going to improve our sort of quality of revenue as well as the profile of customers that we deal with.
So what kind of synergies will you derive on the back of this project?
Right. I mean, if you look at sort of vectors, I think they closed last year at about 210 plus crores, and about half of that is raw material costs. And let's say 60% of that half is directly Uniply related sales. So we talk of it, 60-80 crore sort of direct sales synergy exists. But I think more than that, if you sort of break down our core business, which is sort of manufacturing of raw You will see that you have the B2C segment which works with dealers. We've done quite well there and it's quite profitable. And somehow we've faced a lot of resistance within the team itself when we talk of the B2B segment, which is the larger projects. I think that's cutthroat price competition right now. This will allow us to sort of walk over that barrier and deliver to sort of large institutional customers only through Vector and not directly in the market.
Right. Your cash on the books stands at about a crore and a half on a standalone basis. How will the cash payout for 41 crores be funded?
No, I think we have significant receivables in stock with us. As far as the business is concerned right now, we're infusing money for about 41 crores required to sort of clear the current acquisition costs. This will be funded largely by me and
Keshav, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but what do your receivables stand at?
Today, our receivables are at about 45 odd crores.
Okay.
Okay, so what is this going to do in terms of opening up new markets for Uniply? Is there anything else that you're targeting in this way? And talk to us about the game plan for the next 6 months to 1 year.
So you look at it, right? I mean, you talk of real estate as an overall sector, and then you say, here's what large corporates are doing, and how IT itself is moving from sort of more, headcount into an automation play. I think there's a whole refurbishment cycle coming up with large IT tech majors, etc., around the country, where you need more agile workstations. You need workstations that are more attuned to the automation style of business. Very few players who can cater to this kind of need. I think with sort of delivering our raw materials there directly through Vector solution is what we're looking at per se. Step one will be sort of focusing on the grade A large corporate space. As we sort of move forward, I think we will have solutions for residences as well. Because my personal view is I think we, as an overall country, living standards are still not up to the mark compared to some of what you see around the world. And this will help, provide a solution because it's still a largely unorganized market. When you look at interiors per se, people have the neighborhood contractor who does something. He's in your house for about 3-4 months. There's dust and grime everywhere. This will change it because Vector's factories in Bombay, they prefab interiors, before they bring it on site, and it's only basic assembly at site. So we'll be able to compress both the timeline as well as provide transparency on costs. Both of which are large pain points today in the market.
No, fair enough, Keshav. Those points are taken on board. I just want to know what this acquisition does for your top line and your bottom line. If you're saying that you're going to be paying out about 41 crores for this acquisition, 45 crores are your receivables right now. Would it be margin, would it mean a hit on your margins for the interim and on your bottom line? Or is it, because the venture by itself is profit making?
The cost is about 64 crores. We're doing a stock swap for about 24, and then the balance will come from the cash payout to the promoters. The management of Vector will continue to stay and operate as an independent subsidiary. And if you actually look at it, I think for the incremental shares that we are sort of diluting today, it's going to be quite significantly value accretive to our shareholders. The top line per se is,
quantify how value accretive it would be, Keshav, on the margins as well as the bottom line?
For just the Vector subsidiary. Euro has kicked in. The Gujarat plant that we acquired has started kicking. Production started a few weeks ago. So I think once that sort of ramps up, you'll see significant upside in both Uniply's margins as well as in the top line.
Which is why I'm trying to get a specific number out here. From an FY17 perspective, I would believe that you would have about 6 months odd for the integration. I don't know when this starts showing up in your numbers completely, but either from an FY17 perspective or from an FY18 perspective, give us, including the financials of this acquisition, what would your consolidated top line and bottom line look like?
Yeah, I think a consolidated top line would sort of look more in the 450 to 500 crore range for the year. And you can expect EBITDA margins at about 13% to start off with. We have quite a lot of advertising and related marketing expenses that will ensue following the acquisition. So I think in the years to come, we'll look at incrementally upping that.
All right, Keshav, we leave it at that. Thanks very much. Congratulations on this acquisition. I hope it works well for you. You are clearly bullish about what it would bring to your business. 6% high on Uniply Industries, 256 and counting still on that one.
Yes, that's where the stock is. Loads of other stocks which are buzzing away in trade. But the talking point, at least, still continues to remain Reliance Jio. Very disruptive, much awaited. What's it going to do to the other incumbents? What have brokerages made of these plans? Are they viable or not? We've got Sunita Nagpal joining in to give us some sense as to what exactly the